Now, let's take a look at the one idea paragraph. So the one idea paragraph should be used when you're supporting ideas for some main idea of the paragraph cannot be neatly broken into two parts. A situation where you don't have several ways or two reasons. This structure is typically used when the idea you want to express is a difficult or complex concept. The one idea paragraph is more difficult, but if you can do it well, if you can do it correctly, it will be more impressive to the examiner. A good mix of a two idea paragraph and a one idea paragraph can really be very impressive to the examiner. It shows you have both of these skills. This is the outline that you should use. The one idea paragraph begins with a topic sentence, followed by main explanation, each one sentence each for those, and then 2 to 4 sentences giving more explanation and examples of that main explanation. Okay? So we want to use this structure when the main explanation is quite complex, quite difficult to explain. It takes 2, 3, 4 sentences in order to express it completely. Right? So you don't have enough space to add another idea to that because it takes so much space just to explain this one main idea. Okay? And then finally, we want to connect back to that main idea at the end. So the topic sentence and the final sentence should have some kind of connection to them. I'll show you an example in a moment. But again, we want 5 to 7 sentences, 90 to 120 words. Here's an example. In addition, historical buildings give the citizens of a country a sense of identity and belonging. There's our topic sentence. Okay, notice this is the second paragraph of the essay, the second body paragraph. That's why we're using in addition here. Okay, so we've got our topic sentence. There's no word like ways or advantages like that. Remember, this is a more complicated concept or idea. Here is our main explanation. History provides people with a link to their past by reminding them of the experiences of their ancestors. Right? So we're explaining how historical buildings create a sense of identity. Right? That link to the past, remind them of the experiences of their ancestors. Now, we're going to spend 2 all the way up to 4 sentences explaining more about that concept, that idea. Right? We might have some examples as well. So here, as such, ancient buildings are a powerful symbol of the shared values of a society. The Forbidden City in Beijing is an example of an ancient structure that gives this modern city a sense of cultural identity and historical continuity. Right? If you notice, the one idea paragraph will really open up some deep vocabulary. Historical continuity. Right? That is some high-level stuff. That kind of vocabulary tends to open up when you have a difficult concept. Right? Like this one here. And we want to close with a connection back to the main idea of the paragraph. Okay, so remember the main idea, sense of identity and belonging, right? So if buildings like these are allowed to be destroyed, the cultural legacy of the cities that house them would be significantly damaged, right? So we're connecting not only back to the beginning of the paragraph, but to the overall theme of the essay, right? Which is destroying historical buildings. So we use this word destroyed. If buildings like these are allowed to be destroyed. Right? So we're using this nice general sentence to link back to the overall topic of the essay. And that is essentially all you need to write a great body paragraph. Okay, you want to look at the examples that will be provided for you, but look for the ways in which these paragraphs can express themselves. These are basic examples, basic outlines. They can have a little bit of flexibility, but as you write, try to keep your writing within these limits. Okay? Your paragraph should not be too much longer than this, and it should not be much shorter either. Right? And it should follow one of these two structures. All right, and that's all I've got for you for this lesson. So stay tuned for the next lesson coming up, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.